You're listening to the Fictioneers podcast.
Millennia ago, in the time before the weaving, the world was not one, but four. Four spheres orbiting one another in a unity of perfect balance. It is known that the Muses moved between these spheres as easily as we walk into the next meadow or sail upon our seas. There was no disease, no hunger, and no war. This careful existence was the result of iteration and fraternity, an order preserved only by the careful precision of balance. And then one day it began to fail. This careful orbit began to fall apart. Abundance turned to famine. Peace turned to war. The four worlds were dying. Knowing this, the four Muses, Agrimnos, Cycnosa, Kipsilon, and Calam, came together in council for 4 days and 4 nights, for they were four, and 4 is an auspicious number. And on each day, one of the four led the proceedings. And on the end of the 4th day, they concluded that there was only one way to save their dying worlds: to become one. And so they flew upon the void of space to the center of what would become this world, and they began to weave. They wove with their voices, their bodies, and their spirits. They wove to bring us back to balance. In a beautiful cataclysmic spell of song and will, they merged the four spheres into one. They wove our imperfect world into being. And as one, with what remained of their awesome power, the Muses spoke a final teaching to all who remained. Keep the balance, they said, for without balance comes ruin. This was 3,000 years ago. Their legacy is this world you now stand upon, bound together by their will alone. A world that pulls upon the very seams that bind it. This is the world of Weave. Hello everyone, my name is Clark, and you're listening to the Fictioneers podcast. This campaign, which we're calling Weave, is the result of a collaborative world-building effort between all 6 of us, myself and the players. Weave is a 5th edition D&D actual play focused on creating a wondrous world and exploring character growth. If you're familiar with the 5th edition of Dungeons & Dragons, this campaign is starting at level 3. You may also notice that we're using custom races and classes made specifically for this setting. Anyways, we'll be learning more about the world of Weave soon, but I'd like to introduce the players and their characters first. So without further ado, Diego, why don't you introduce yourself and your character, Bon?
Hi, I'm Diego. My pronouns are he, him. Like Clark said, my character's name is Bon. And they are Kalamkar, which is the homebrew race that me and Clark designed for this setting. You'll figure out what they are when we get into it. And the class I'm in is a monk, and I am a homebrew subclass known as the Way of the Coursing Serpent that me and Clark worked on. So yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Diego. Julia, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your character, Hippodamo?
Yeah, hello, I am Julia. My pronouns are she and her. But to confuse everyone, Hippodamo, pronouns are he and him. I'm playing a guy for once in my life. Hippodamo is an Agrition, which are the goat people native to sort of the area near where the game is taking place. That's a homebrew race. But my class is just a bog standard Oath of the Crown Paladin, so plenty of argument and taunts. That's me.
Thanks, Julia. Mark, what about you and your character, Arlo?
Hi, I'm Mark. My pronouns are they, them, and of course, because I must be confusing, especially following Julia, I am playing Arlo Rainborn, who uses he, him pronouns. Arlo is a sub-race of a homebrew race that we created called the Incursion Touched. Specifically, his sub-race is a marked individual. Yes, I understand the relation to my name. Makes it easy to remember. And he is an aberrant mind sorcerer.
TJ, tell us about your character, or die.
Well, I'll see y'all later.
Honestly, the right move. Imagine starting a podcast. Imagine that.
Yeah. My name is TJ. My pronouns are they, them, and I am playing Phoenix Arevna, who is a Kipsalian artificer armorer, who is pretty cool, I think. Kipsalian is a homebrew race, which is kind of like a cobbling together. There are like elements of dwarf, elements of like warforged, and a little sprinkling of off-the-dome creativeness.
Awesome. Thanks, TJ. Zelda, why don't you introduce yourself and your character, Genevieve?
Hi there, my name is Zelda. I use she, they pronouns. I am playing Genevieve Laverne, who uses she, her pronouns. She is a Sycnosian, who, once again, like everyone else, this is a homebrew race for the setting. They are bird people. We'll get to that in a little bit. Genevieve is a divination wizard, part of the 5e core rules.
Awesome. My pronouns are they, them, though you can refer to me as a D&D Jesus.
Yeah, chef.
Actually, no, my pronouns are yes and
You
chef.
got it, chef.
Yes, chef.
They're not Chef Jesus.
Ooh, Chef Jesus.
Making the bread and the fucking wine for us.
True. Making that fish, that bread, that
Serve
wine.
it up, motherfuckers. Serve it up.
Yeah. The body and the spirit.
Anyways, without any further ado, let's dive into this game that I am so excited to run. It begins with a view out into an endless ocean. The camera shifts downwards, revealing a frenetic and cramped city with its very history and struggle written into its architecture. The houses are sloped and curved to shrug off the strong winds. Thousands of bridges tie together an abundance of islands interlaced with bright blue canals, bound together over the course of dozens of generations and the collective efforts of countless workers, architects, and a countable number of rulers. Pontus Gefyra is one of many so-called seam towns in the world of Weave, city-states that occupy the space between the four mosaic planes. They exist on the literal and metaphorical seams between empires, kingdoms, and cantons. The camera soars over the ocean. Pontus Pontus Gefyra becoming a small dot on the horizon, and it settles on a robed figure leaning against the mast of a metal sailing ship. 4 arms stick out from under this figure's clothing, and the camera kind of swipes over to the side of the ship and we see the name of it, Honor's Light 2. Steel hulled, where there would be sails in our world is instead a series of interlocking rope knots glowing yellow, blue, and red. Returning to the figure leaning against the mast, Diego, would you like to tell us what Bon looks like and what exactly he is doing on this ship?
Yeah, leaning on the mast is this 4-armed figure. Right now they'll be wearing a kind of a cape-it cloak that kind of covers the top part of their body, only just revealing like a pair of legs, their arms hidden underneath it, but if you can see their hands kind of around are kind of blue, of a dark kind of like a midnight blue, with some faint kind of cracking almost in the skin, golden cracks. On their head they wear kind of like a wide hat that obscures the sun, matching the cloak, kind of their traveling gear. Kind of rough, well-worn clothes, just look a shower very much, really. Leather, furs, things like that. Lots of homemade-looking things that they wear, very patchy, lots of repairs in that cloak. And right now they kind of lift up from the mast to walk up towards the front of the ship. The prow puts a hand on like the piece of wood and kind of just looks out to see the city of Pontus Gefyra.
Well, actually, on the ships that Bond would be used to, it would be wood, but this is a ship of Kipsalian make. It is metal through and through.
Ooh.
The crew is busy at work right now because they're getting ready to dock today. You've been on the sea for a few days, from traveling from the outskirts of Kalamkar over the Mosaic Ocean to the port of Pontus Gefyra. Right now you're in the Bay of Bridges, which borders the city. We watch as the ship approaches port. You can see on the docks as dozens and dozens of Kipsalians, their heads sort of like a mane of fire, diligently move goods and people off ships. You are actually told to wait on the ship, because in recent months, Kalamkar and Pontus Gefyra have been getting into disputes, little spats, and now they're being a little bit more official about who they're letting in and tracking them.
Makes sense.
Eventually, after a few minutes, a human man, maybe 5'6", curly black hair, comes aboard. He wears a vest with like yellows and golds and blacks, and has embroidered on it the symbol of like a golden hand. He has a spear on his back, but you can tell he's never really used it. It's much more for show. Anyways, he's going through a list, reading off items, and then he looks at you and he says, you're the, Ban?
Bon.
Well, howdy, I'm Petros. I'm just gonna need to see, your papers, purpose of visit, that sort of thing.
Reaches into a pouch in his belt. You can't see it because he's just kind of like shuffling underneath the cloak, right? And removes, a folded piece of paper and just kind of hands it over.
Is that piece of paper like actual name or like, I don't know, what's on it? I'm curious. Does my order, the people I work for have a symbol or anything like that? I imagine it's that. He's more asking for like a birth certificate sort of deal, like name, stamp of who you are, that sort of thing.
Yeah, like a passport essentially.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Then if I don't have like something that like shows my seal of office, then yeah, I just give him like my passport.
Yeah, we can see kind of beautiful, curvaceous Kalamkari calligraphy throughout. You can see he's kind of fumbling through some of the Kalamkari words under his breath. It's clear he's not very fluent in it, but he can read it. And then eventually hands you it back and says, so what's exactly your purpose of visit?
Here for work.
I mean, like what kind of work? Like, I gotta write something down for my boss.
I'm sent to the embassy.
Oh, so good. Yeah, you'll need to register with the Kalamkari delegation. They're kinda near the university district. Yeah, do you want any directions? Actually, no, you should probably take a gondolier to get there. That's probably the easiest way. It should take you maybe an arch-yen or two to get there.
Nods.
All right, Mr. Hanuman, thank you so much for your time. I gotta talk to a few more passengers, but I hope you enjoy your stay in Pontus Gefyra. He walks off, and where are you headed, Bon?
I am, I think, headed to the delegation. Because I am searching for someone specific.
You gonna catch a gondolier, or are you gonna walk?
I imagine I've probably been here before.
Oh, interesting.
Right.
So this is not your first time in Pontus Gefyra. Would it have been before you had your current job was the last time you were here?
Yeah, before his current profession.
Okay, that makes sense. We watch as Bon sort of walks into an alley out of sight, and then the camera pans to the right, and we see a hooded figure at a stall. The camera zooms up to the stall. There is a Kipsalian vendor there, much taller than this hooded figure at the stall. He leans kind of casually against his hand. It presses into his cheek. He sighs and he says, "Look, 500 Tron. This isn't some knickknack from Pontus Gefyra. It's Kipsalite. And Kipsalite is life. And life has a price." And TJ, would you describe what Phee looks like to us?
Sure. Phee is like a broad 5'9" Kipsalian who would probably be pretty intimidating if she didn't like fully fold in on herself all the time. She's wearing like blue-gray canvas pants and a bulky leather jacket that's like spotted with different pieces of metallic armor. Under her jacket, she's wearing a chest plate made of metal and leather, which on the left side has like a couple of different like interconnected dial meters that measure something when activated, though all of them are off at the moment, so who knows what they measure. All of this, from her pants to her jacket to her like several different belts, are covered in different pockets that are filled with assorted tools, spools of different like types of wire and string, and other miscellaneous bits of like magical crafting supplies. She's standing there across from this vendor and is looking pretty defeated, all things considered, and says a curse in Kipsalian before reaching into like one of her many pockets in her leather jacket and pulls out the money and hands it over.
He kind of like exhales as he starts thumbing through the coins to make sure they're all real. You can see with like each exhale of breath, his eyes kind of like flare to life, kind of like a coal engine. All right, that's 500 Tron. He sets a crystal down on the counter. It's probably like the size of like a little donut, like one of those donuts you can get.
Like a munchkin or a donut hole?
Bigger than a donut hole. Bigger than a donut hole.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the most American size comparison I can make.
We measure distance in football fields and anything else smaller than that by donuts.
It's true.
Phee, as soon as it's on the counter, grabs it and puts it in her pocket.
And he says, 500 Tron, thanks, and he stuffs it away. Anything else you want to do, TJ, before I jump to our next character?
No, I think Phee, after that, I think Phee looks at her left wrist, and we see she's wearing this black glove, and there's this little cutout where a small similar crystal glowing red, but cut into like a diamond shape, is embedded into her hand. And it's glowing kind of brightly, like you can visibly see it's glowing, but it's seen better days, for lack of a better word. And she taps it a couple times and sighs before walking off towards the old district.
For those viewers confused about the money in the setting, like what is Ahid, what is Archan, what is Tron? Tron is basically the equivalent of gold in the setting, and you work downwards from there, Archan being silver and Ahid being copper. Behind you, we see someone kind of like handing out flyers, and they say, "Join the Gilded Hand today. Want to make a better life for yourself? Want to change your life? Join the Gilded Hand. Protect Pontus Gefyra. Protect your home." The wind kind of picks up and whips the poster out of this person's hand. We can see as it kind of flies above the city into the skyline. It gives us a nice bird's eye view of Pontus Gefyra. Eventually, this poster sort of like lands in a part of the city that's a little bit more ornate. The architecture is more worn. It's definitely an older part of the city. And it lands in the middle of this very large square. You can see vendor stalls sort of dotted about the square, and in the center is a tall statue, maybe 40 feet high, of an Grecian male clad in the traditional toga of a philosopher king, holding a glaive aloft in glorious exaltation of the Muses. The camera then pans down and to the left towards one of the oldest buildings in the city, the Public Rescue Service. Adventurers that work here are paid to rescue innocent citizens who have been trapped in so-called incursions, bizarre, temporary, extra-dimensional glitch spaces whose properties subvert the rules of reality. Several adventurers clad in armor, some human, some incursion-touched, some Grecian, burst out of the twin bronze doors. And although they appear to be a unified front at first, it's clear that most of the group is intent on separating themselves from one person in particular as they go up to count their bounties from their latest expedition. Some of these people leave offerings at the statue of Cratylus, the founder of Pontus Gefyra, as the camera follows one of these people in particular as they sit down at a bench directly under said statue. Julia, would you describe what Hippodamo looks like?
Yeah, Hippodamo is a middle-aged Grecian, starting to don't have hair in the traditional sense because of the goat face, but starting to get like gray hairs around the muzzle, sort of like a dog who's getting up in the years. They've got a sort of pensive, intense look about them, and he's got notably very short nubs of horns. Most Grecians in adulthood have horns anywhere from 3 to 5 feet long. They curl, they're quite impressive things. Hippodamos are maybe 6-inch nubs. And he just sits down on a bench and just quickly checks through the purse of money he's been given for the most recent job. I assume the coins are of local make, so whichever of the metals are most common here, and just sort of thumb through the money, staring off into the middle distance.
Yeah, and as you're kind of thumbing through the money, it's mostly Archean. A couple of kids leave an offering at the statue of Cratylus. It was probably something their parents asked them to do. It's a bit of a tradition to leave a wreath at the statue. Sometimes people will even hide a little cradle head mushroom in there. They're 2 Grecian kids, so like they set it down and they step back kind of admiring their work. And then one of them speaks in a Grecian. Mom said you were supposed to do it, but I did it, so she's gonna like me better today. The other kid's like, but that's not how that works. The other one, clearly intent on telling their parents that the other one fucked up, is about to run off and then looks to the right, looks at you, Hippodamo, looks at your horns. There's that moment of, like, recognition. He then taps his little brother on the shoulder and whispers to him, and then his little brother whispers back, and they start, like, whispering back and forth between each other, and then they run off.
I'm, at this point, used to that enough that I'm gonna, try to laugh it off, right? While they're still there, I'll chuckle a little bit and look disdainful, sort of, but that definitely makes me lose count. I'm gonna have to start counting my money again.
Yeah, you're able to count it through. And is there anything in the central market you'd like to do before you head back to where you're staying?
I'm gonna stand in front of the statue of the founder and just look up at it for a moment. Is this like a, toss a coin into a fountain kind of situation?
Yeah, there's definitely a thought that much like Muse can intercede on your behalf for good fortune, leaving an offering to Cratylus could have him intercede on your behalf to the Muses for good fortune.
Just for good luck, I'll flick a coin into the pile of offerings and just mumble under my breath. Well, Cratylus, if you have something to show me, I'm ready to see it.
Yeah, and as you head off home to the second ward of Pontus Gefyra, the camera follows you from behind for a little bit. The camera then leans left, no longer focusing on you, and then instead goes down Founder's Bridge, weaving through hawkers, messengers, and crowded stalls. Founder's Bridge is the oldest bridge in the city, and it's noted for its architectural style being very, very Grecian. Pillars, all of that sort of thing. It's said that Credulus built this bridge by himself by hand, sort of in imitation of the great works of the Cycnosian cantons. And speaking of the Cycnosian cantons, a Cycnosian woman sits at a stall on Founder's Bridge, weaving a complex cat's cradle between suspended wooden hoops. Zelda, tell us about Genevieve.
Yeah, Genevieve is this very serious-looking Cycnosian woman. Cycnosian people, like I said in the beginning, are bird people. She is covered in white feathers. Her face stands as one of the bare points of these feathers, and like something that resembles hair kind of sits on top of her head. She is a very gaunt woman. Pale gray skin and a very angular face. She's got a hook nose, these very serious black eyes, and very thin lips. We can see that she's got a silver tuft of feathers that poke out from this very elaborate dress that she's wearing. And we can also see that a couple of places in her plumage there are some magenta feathers as well. Not a lot of jewelry seems to adorn her. The feathers do make it kind of hard. But we can see that there's like a necklace that sits around her neck that has a very ornate symbol comprised of like woven metal. Her arms are covered in feathers, save for her hands, and we can't really see her feet from this angle, or her legs for that matter, because she is sitting at a table. But she's just kind of sitting, moving her head back and forth a little bit as she is weaving this cat's cradle with her fingers.
An older human man sort of walks up to the stall. He's just old enough to kind of need a walking stick, and he taps on a sign that's on the table. And he says, "Fortune's red, huh? Fortune's red?"
And Genevieve looks up and says, "Why, yes, indeed, I do read fortunes. Care to try?"
I've never had my fortune read by a Cycnosian before. Is it kind of similar to tarot? Tarot? However that tarot is pronounced.
Tarot, very common in a lot of places. This, however, is a bit different. You can see here I'm weaving this cat's cradles with my fingers. It's, well, perhaps a complimentary reading is in order. And her fingers pull as the last of the hoops fall into place with a very, suddenness. And she lets go and everything just kind of rests in place. She reaches down and produces a leather bag filled with sand and a single pearl that sits upon the top of the sand.
Complimentary? I think your services are worth more. And you can just sort of tell this guy feels really uncomfortable at the idea of being offered anything for free.
Well, then in that case, the standard rate would be, 1 tron, I'll say.
1 tron? Well, I got about 15 minutes, and 1 tron for about 15 minutes. You can tell he sees you're not quite understanding something that's happening here. So he leans in, he kind of mumbles. So, you ever been to Pontus Gefyra before?
No, this is my first time.
I mean, how do I even explain this? We're supposed to come to sort of a price. That's kind of like a thing here.
Oh, I see. So I should charge you 10 tron.
He thinks for a moment, and then he says, and then I would be like, and he thumbs through his wallet, well, I don't have a lot of money on me right now. What about 5 archian instead? And then you'd be like, what about 1 tron? So that way we only have to use 1 coin and not bother with counting up the money.
If you'd like, we can restart this whole transaction.
Oh, we read on the 1 tron, I kind of want to respect your time, and I've certainly got people piling up behind me, and they want to get their fortunes read, because we don't get too many Cycnosians down here, because we're a long way from the cantons?
The cantons, yes.
Yeah, and he sits down in a Cycnosian chair and gets as comfy as he can in a Cycnosian chair, because it's basically woven iron, very ornate, very florid. Think almost kind of like New Orleans kind of adornment. Alright, so what exactly are we doing? How does this work?
This, she gestures to the cat's cradle, is the tower, not the tarot card. This is how we, in the cantons, divine, particularly the members of the Collegium Divinatorum. I'm going to place this pearl within the cat's cradle, and the camera, I think, follows the pearl as she sets it to rest. I am then going to pour the sand down the cat's cradle. I will divine your fortune based on the shapes that come to rest in the sand below. Once the pearl falls from the cat's cradle, the reading is over.
That makes sense. So let's pour some sand down this.
Wow, the first roll of the game is me rolling for divination?
Roll for sand,
Yeah,
please.
let's say you roll like 2 neutrals,
Now,
and you're on
Clark.
a third roll. Oh, you want to go through the whole process?
I do. I came up with a whole process here.
You know, I think I want to save the full process for a more intense scene. So why don't we just say like the first 2 rolls are neutral rolls, and this one will be his last.
All right. And I will say 3 neutral and then a last, for it is a positive reading.
Oh, okay. True, yes. It's collapsing on the 4th, which is a good sign.
Yes. Let's see. And the pearl falls on the 4th. That is positive. Your last symbol here is the forest. You can see how the sand rests in these small little scatters, almost like a copse of trees, correct?
Sure. Yeah, I see it.
Be wary, for the forest, in its beauty, can also hide dangers. Perhaps there's something that is perturbing you, something that is hunting you. The hunter can become the hunted. Remain vigilant, friend.
And he looks kind of confused. Huh. And then we smash cut to the interior of a quiet office. It's all made of wood, all hand carved. There's a camera shot of a glass pane in the front door, the back of it, and its hand is sort of like painted gold onto it. And we can see kind of like written around the hand is on this glass pane is Gilded Hand Recruitment Office. And then it cuts to a kind of bored-looking young man just sitting at a desk. He's probably working with like some sort of knack based off of the vibes I've been getting. Mark, tell us about Arlo.
Yeah, Arlo is quite tall. He's about 6'5", and he's quite thin, noticeably sort of, we'll say, kind of stretched proportions, not in an uncanny way, though the rest of him is certainly uncanny. If you look at him long enough, he kind of shifts and shimmers at his edges. There are void pieces and glitchy textures that kind of seem to float and change across his skin. Sometimes it can give the illusion of sort of doubling up his features, and it sort of almost looks like a poorly rendered hologram, though he is very much there. And definitely playing with his Gilded Hand badge, which is a lovely piece of pink metal that has the Gilded Hand stamp on it.
Shadam Two Bridges, who is your boss and also an incursion touched. There is a staircase behind you. He sort of like leans down from that. Has anyone shown up looking for me yet?
What? No. Nobody's shown up.
Didn't I tell you I was expecting a visitor?
You never tell me anything, but I'll keep an eye out.
Oh, sorry, I thought I told you. I was expecting a visitor this afternoon. Just let me know if they show up, and if you have to work overtime to make sure they get seen, just let me know. I'll make sure you get paid. What are the numbers today? Did anyone join?
I dramatically pull out a blank piece of paper from my drawer, and I drag my finger down it as if I'm counting nothing. And then I turn to Shadam, and I just go, wow, nobody again.
Rats. Well, at least we have that contract at the city, and that should help us find some more people. Well, how's the family? How's the sister? She headed out here soon?
Why would it matter to you?
He blushes like a little bit. No reason at all. Actually, I've got some people gonna show up. I'm gonna run across the street real quick. That should be fine. Do you want me to get you a kombucha?
Kombucha? Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah, I hear it's the best in the city, and he sort of like scampers out. And about 5 minutes after Shadam scampers out, you watch as 4 Kalamkari men, adorned in fine plain silk clothing and wearing amulets with 4 interlocking hands, the symbol of the Kalamkari imperial family, walk in. There's one at the front, a shorter, squat Kalamkari man with green skin and orange-yellow diamond spots. He reaches towards a chest that another man is carrying, pulls out a bag that jingles with money, and sets it down on the desk. No Gefyran patter, please. The price has been agreed upon. Just let Sharam know. We have provided the payment. The deal is sealed.
Yes, I'll sort of stand up and awkwardly kind of bow. Do you gentlemen need anything? The kombucha, perhaps?
I'm fine. We have business to attend to. Goodbye. Then they walk out. About 1 minute later, Sharam walks in with 2 glasses of kombucha, sets one down on the desk, and says, "A booch for you, sir, and a booch for me."
Haha. I will, cheers.
Yeah, and no one showed up?
No, you've received payment. Check it out.
Ah, damn it. Neela's going to be furious with me. This was another deal I was supposed to get done, but hey, we did get that other deal done, so at least that's good.
They did seem to be kind of single-minded.
Yes. Also, do not tell anyone that they were here.
Sure. I just kind of, dramatically look around, and then I just kind of go, I don't think there's anyone that would care, to be honest. But my mouth is shut.
I think behind your shoulder we see one of the Pontus Gefyra rats sort of grab a big piece of bread off from behind a desk. Then its fins sort of sparkle in the sunlight, and then it takes the bag, goes up to a window, and then falls backwards out of the window with a baguette in its hands, and we hear a little splish.
Delightful.
Sharam goes back up to his office. He just, and as you're looking out onto the street, you see the face of Hippodamo, just out of pure coincidence. You and him rent from the same boarding house, and Hippodamo, you actually just coincidentally look up to see Arlo in the window looking at you.
I just kind of wave, and then I'll go and I'll open the door. Hippodamo!
Arlo, friend, how's the day treating you?
Same as usual. Nothing much to report.
Nothing much to report. Would that we all had such peace.
It isn't exactly peace that I asked for. Honestly, if I could get a single signature for the Gilded Hand, it would be a good day.
Recruitment still slow, I take it.
Well, we just have to implement our new postering campaign. That'll change everyone's mind, I'm sure of it.
Postering, of course.
It's a great one this time. We got a great illustrator. I mean, there was a great illustrator, and then we sort of hired our own, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be so good. We saved so much money on the whole thing.
I trust that is true. Pontus Gefyra is home to many fine artisans. I'm certain that even the cheaper option is skilled in their own right.
You're optimistic. I like that about you.
Optimistic. Arlo, my friend, I think you may be the only person in all the 4 realms who would call me that.
Well, what's your day been?
Got back from a job, a few adventures, tripped into an incursion, as normal.
Sounds good.
Not too bad, paid well enough. The mapping guild keeps me well kept.
Yeah, I hear they do that. Yeah, but I can't go a day without hearing about him, honestly. It's good. No, it's good. It's, my sister. She's, my family and yep, good.
I see.
Did the Cartographers Guild, show up as well? I'm waiting for them too.
No. I don't think they want anything to do with me.
Okay. Why don't you head home? Enjoy the day while it's nice out. It's a slow day anyways.
It's, definitely super cloudy. I, look up at the sky and I'm just like, nice day, yeah. Alright, well, I'll, see you tomorrow.
Alright, goodbye, Arlo. And as you're looking up at the clouds, you get the feeling it's almost like you're getting touched in the back of the head. Just this faint feeling of being pulled somewhere else.
I just kind of run my hand through the back of my hair.
Yeah, ever since you moved to Pontus Gefyra, you've gotten pretty good at predicting the weather. Every time you get this feeling in the back of your head, there tends to be a storm.
I'll just kind of look at Hippodamo and I'll just be like, well, are you headed home?
I was walking that way, but I have no engagements for the rest of the day. I'll accompany you wherever you're going if you want.
No, I think...
You need something from the Cartographers Guild? I could put in a word.
Nope, I think, it feels like rain. Does it not feel like rain? I think we should just head home.
Does it feel like rain? I'm not that old yet. My bones don't ache.
Well, mine don't either, but the back of my head sort of itches. It's a whole thing.
You sure you don't just need, I don't know, a trip to the baths?
Probably that too, but no, this is different.
A joke, Carla. A joke. I know I only make them every so often.
Well, homeward bound then.
Home it is. Let's see what Hyperides has grown for us today.
I will, I'll say goodbye to, Sharam and thank him for the kombucha.
If you like the place, it's just down the street. You got me next time?
Oh, yeah, sure, of course, yeah. Anyway, see you tomorrow.
Goodbye, Arlo. And, do let me know when your sister's in town. You know, just want to catch up.
Right, yeah, definitely.
I see. So it's him who needs something from the Cartographers Guild and not you.
Always.
I do not envy you, friend.
Well, it's not all bad. It's just sort of, I don't know. The curse of having a very, very successful older sibling.
We cut to Bon, who is walking through the streets of the university district. Bon, you're looking for...
The Kalamkari Governmental Liaison.
Yes, you're looking for the Kalamkari Cultural Liaison. Basically an embassy in Pontus Gefyra to the Kalamkari Empire. The building, as one would expect from Kalamkari Empire, is simple concrete. It's unadorned and it's painted green, not like a very noticeable green, but like a very subdued green. The windows are all large to let in natural light, and the building is very, very level. There are several guards out front, and you can see across the street several student protesters holding up signs. Some are human and some are Grecian. They're protesting. Some of the signs are more direct. Some will say like peace in the Bay of Bridges, and the others will be very direct and say hands off our university.
Does it look like they're violent, or like things are getting rowdy, or they're just kind of like standing there yelling type vibe?
They're standing there yelling, chanting, occasionally singing, and there's some local musicians playing a sort of folk tune, like a protest folk tune. TJ, I'm so sorry.
I have music for it. It's all good.
Well, I'm gonna take that.
No. Copyrighted, but it's gonna stay in for the joke.
10 seconds. 10 seconds, baby. I didn't hit it. I know I didn't.
Yeah. What are you doing in this kind of district? Let's make it clear. This is the one part of the city that is not cramped, besides Founders Square and the Founders Bridge. Like everywhere else is cramped. Then here we've got like large open spaces. You've got the university with its own building and its own campus, and we have the Kalamkari embassy with kind of its own wide open space.
Bon will kind of step up to the steps that lead into the Kalamkari governmental liaison, kind of steel himself a little bit. It's been a long time since he's been here. He tries to stay away from more governmental places, but he's looking for someone that he heard is in town. Custom dictates you check in at the liaison if you're a proper Kalamkari. So he will remove his hat, revealing more of his features. He's sharp features. That kind of golden crack pattern that you saw on his arms is also present on his face. His eyes are small, kind of thinner, crimson orbs. White hair kind of pulled into a bun, a few straight bangs kind of framing his face. And the hat now hangs, but what was like hanging on his chin is now kind of like hanging on his neck, a piece of thread. And he will walk into the government liaison building.
Just like the outside of the building, the inside is very plain, very demure.
Functional.
Functional. Functional. That's a good word for it. Functional. There's a couple bureaucrats at the front desk that are just kind of stamping papers, looking through things, and then they kind of like look up and they look at you.
I'll stand at the sign that says "Stand here until a teller asks for you."
Is your weapon visible?
No, it's under the cloak. Yeah, the cloak kind of ends right at like where you see my boots, so it's pretty encompassing.
Okay, yeah. And they look at you, and one of them says, "Next, please."
I'll walk up and say, "Registering for arrival. And I will pass over my passport.
Does your passport list your caste? It's gotta, right?
It has to.
Yeah, and so she's like looking through your papers, and as soon as she gets the part of that with your caste, you can see your face kind of like wrinkle with disgust. She stamps it and hands it back to you. Please leave. Have a nice day.
Nods.
And you can see as she stands up to go wash her hands.
Is there any books or anything where like records would take place, or anywhere I know that would be? Because basically I want to see like the check-in list, right?
Yeah, like where they've written down your name. You saw her do that. Yeah, this building's gonna be full of records of like where you're from, who's here, what they're here for, where they're from, that kind of thing.
Could I have taken a peek while she was writing my name in that book to see if the person I'm looking for's name is on that
page?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Give me a perception check.
Hey, this is something I'm good at. All right, 14 on the die, plus 4 is 18.
If this person has checked in, they were not on that list. It has been a couple of weeks since you've gotten the news that this person was here. It might very well just be the wrong page.
As I leave the governmental liaison, I'll kind of put the hat back, adjusting it on my head tightly. It seems like it will be here longer than I expected.
The man who was the other bureaucrat, like, kind of stands up, goes up to one of the guards, points at you. The guard nods and walks up to you.
I look at him.
You're not allowed back in this building.
I'm aware.
Good. I would hate for there to be trouble.
There will not be.
There's always trouble when there are people like you around.
Silently just kind of acknowledge the statement, kind of long blink, right? And turn around and head to my next destination of Little Calamcari.
We cut to Phee. Phee, you've just gotten another Kypsolite stone for a backup, and now you're looking for somewhere to stay, right?
Yeah, I think what we would actually do is... What time is it?
It's probably like 2 p.m.
Okay, it's 2 p.m. Fee's in the city to look for her contact with the Gilded Hand. So I think she would probably try to head for any offices with the Gilded Hand.
Yeah, there's a recruitment office in the second ward, and that's where you think your contact is. So we cut there. In front of the office, we see Hippodamo and Arlo, and Phee, you immediately recognize Arlo as one of your contacts in the Gilded Hand.
Arlo!
Oh, hey, Phee, what's going on?
I'm here for the job, the agreed upon job.
The job?
Yes, we were contacted by the Gilded Hand. You all said you needed an artificer.
Right, yeah, no, I totally know about that. Yeah, no, Sharam has it all set up, yeah.
Great. Is this
Looks
where...
like your luck is turning around.
Oh, hi.
Hippodamo,
Hello.
Phee, Hippodamo.
Yeah, Phee reaches out a hand.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
Yeah. When you grab Fee's hand, it's like, it's really warm to the touch. Not enough to like make you burn, but like putting your hand on concrete on like a hot summer day.
It's been a little while since I've shaken hands with a Capsalian.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Surprised me.
Yes, we are a little hotter than most, I guess. Yeah, is there a place I should, like, I don't know, check in or meet with? I'm, ready to get to work and get whatever you'll need done.
Me too, yeah, all of that we need done for sure. Yeah, no, come on in. I will go and just like turn around and walk right back into the Gilded Hand.
I'll just wait out here.
And I just kind of, I'll go behind my desk and just like stack up, again, a stack of blank papers and just kind of, brush some things off my desk. And I'll just, and then I'll go upstairs and I'll grab Sharam.
Artificer?
Yeah, an artificer, yeah.
Why didn't you tell me about this?
You know about the we apparently requested one.
Okay, who do you think would have requested an artificer?
Well, I don't know. Seems like the sort of thing that Kyle would go rogue and do.
Kyle? Fucking Kyle. Alright, why don't we get her registered? Because that'll look good for both you and me.
Sure, yeah, can always use an artificer.
Yeah, and then we'll get to work. I'm gonna have you get to work. I'll have you on board her.
Sure, yeah, of course. I'll go back downstairs, right, yeah, so, I just kind of, go through, the bottom drawer of my desk, and there's a piece of, vellum that has some, it's like a form, it has, a magically copied onboarding stuff, and I'll just, it's coffee stained at this point, or maybe it's kombucha stained, but I'll hand it to Phee with a quill.
Phee looks at the paper and sort of says under her breath, I would have thought it would have been taken care of, but all right, and fills it out.
Congratulations! You're part of the Gilded Hand! Yay!
You get a branded glass cup.
Yeah, it's like a commemorative drinking horn.
I see. I see that. Hooray! Wait, yeah, this is correct and good and probably right. Let's go, Gilded Hands.
Work starts tomorrow, bright and early.
That I love to hear, and I can't wait to hear what this job is, because I have heard not a lot of details on it, but, I am here to work.
Well, I mean, now that you're onboarded, I mean, maybe I can tell you it's, maybe a little secret, but, you'll learn the details about it, I'm sure.
Of course. And I think Phee turns to, walk out the door and, stops and, reverses motion and turns around and is like, you wouldn't happen to know about a place I could stay while I'm here? I literally just got into town a couple hours ago.
And I think we cut to the boarding house. The boarding house is in a little bit of an older style. It's along the canal, just kind of an unassuming building. It's at least a couple 100 years old, if not a little bit older than that. Although we can see parts of the architecture slowly starting to morph into that cornerless, windswept style that defines a lot of Pontus Gefyra's style. We still see a lot of the older marks and pillars, that sort of thing, that mark the influence of Grecian architecture. Entering this, for Pontus Gefyra, decently sized house, it's got 6 bedrooms outside of the master. Small bedrooms, but 6 bedrooms outside of the master. And the rooms are small, single twin bed, head to toe against the wall, 1 desk, that sort of thing. Think single college dorm room kind of room size. It's old, it's worn, and it's lived in, and it's loved. And its most notable feature when you walk in, there's a little pillow on a little desk, a little, ottoman. And behind that is a little mural of a Grecian skull. The skull is tattooed very ornately, and it seems like the paint on this mural is old enough to start fading, maybe scraping off a little bit. And on it is marked the year 30 years ago to this year that this house last held the skull of Cratylus, the skull of the founder. From upstairs, you can smell a very mushroomy stew being made, and calling down is a very light voice. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, we're home.
Hello?
Oh, and I brought another one.
Oh, hello. Yes, I'm making the stew right now. Parady's actually got some cradlehead mushrooms in the market because the ones in the back of the house aren't quite ready yet. So we're having a cradlehead stew today. And as you walk upstairs, there's a little living room lounge. It's full with old sofas, old chairs. Everything is well used and well loved. You can see that there's a teenage girl, maybe no older than 15, sitting in one of these chairs. She's reading a book, and the best way to describe her is that she kind of has fuck off goth vibes. She lowers her book a bit, looks at Hippodamo and Arlo and nods, and then just raises her book back up. Yeah, she's human. And then a little kid runs out, couldn't be older than 5, runs over to Hippodamo, hugs his leg and says, Hippodamo, did you kill anyone today?
That depends on what you mean by people.
Oh. And he looks straight up at Hippodamo and then looks over, points and says, who's that? And looking straight at Phee.
This is my new friend, Phee. And she's helping out Arlo and his people.
Oh, cool. I'm Leon, and that's my sister Melite, though she'll never say her name because she likes reading too much. I'm gonna go help Grandma in the kitchen. Bye!
What a sprightly lad.
Yeah.
You'll get used to him, Phee.
He's a good kid. He just sort of, asks too many questions.
Nonsense. There's no such thing as too many questions at that age.
Alkanoe, the matriarch of the family, sort of like walks out of the kitchen. She's, short woman, gray hair, very elegant, and dressed very fancy, but it's like old fancy. Like this is like a 20-year-old dress. It's like a fancy dress, but like it's 20 years old, so it's maybe like a little bit unfashionable now. Yeah, but she walks up to you, Phee, and she introduces herself. I'm Kemal Mahler Al-Khan Alkanoe. It's very nice to meet you. And I heard your name for the kitchen. It's Phee, yes?
Yes, my name is Phoenix.
Oh, Phoenix. Yes, Phoenix. It's a very nice name. Arlo, can you please show her to room 4? I think that one's not being used right now.
Sure, I've got it.
Yeah, and then she kind of sniffs the air, and then Clatter comes from the kitchen, and she says, oh, I have to go back. No doubt, because Leon is making a mess of things in the kitchen. Yeah, we cut to Genevieve. Genevieve, you're kind of going about your day. I think you've done a couple of readings. They've been positive or neutral mostly, but it's kind of getting to the end of the day, and about 3 p.m., and the clouds start piling up overhead.
Can I roll an Arcana check to see if that's somehow incursion related?
So, like, I guess what I'll give you is that whether or not it is an incursion, it's kind of hard to say unless you can see everything. Like, if you were up on, like, a high point, like a ridge, I'd give you that check.
Do I have, like, a line of people, or is this, like, a break?
Up to you. Has it been a busy day? Has it been a slow day?
I think it's been a slow day, right? This is not her first day, so I feel like her first day is always the busiest because people are like, ooh, a Signosion. Do you do fortunes? Ho ho! And the second day it's always like, oh, she's still here.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, if I may,
Mm-hmm.
I start packing up my stall, right? And once everything is packed up and secure, I step out of the market and I go find like a little alleyway where I can get a clear shot of the sky above me.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to cast Gust of Wind directly underneath me to lift me up. As I do have wings, and for the audience, while I can't fly, I can glide.
Yep, you can glide, and now you're at a good vantage point. You're above most buildings in the city, so why don't you give me that Arcana check?
Oh, let's go! Ooh, that's a 2 for a total of 7.
Hard to tell. Clouds are always so fickle. Like, sometimes they're very clear. Like, sometimes it'll be, like, the symbol for woe.
Yeah, I think, if you will, under her breath, as she's trying to, like, discern the clouds, right? Oh, there's a reason that I read sand and not clouds.
Yeah, and I think you kind of glide gently down to the ground, and I think, Bon, I think you see a Psychnosian sort of just, like, glide down to the ground in the alley next to you. Just something about her catches your eye.
He's not going to say anything, but you definitely see this Callum car standing, just like looking at you, seemingly like transfixed. Kind of the hat walking out, but underneath the hat you can see the tusks, the blue skin, the golden cracks, pointed ears, like dim, almost crimson eyes that glow just a little, kind of peering underneath the hat.
Yeah, and you see, the description of this woman I made earlier. The dress is cut in such a way that her arms are not impeded at all, so that way she can glide freely. But you can also see that she has, like, these webbed feet. They're mostly webbed and have little black claws at the end of her toes. As she kind of, like, sees you looking at her, cocks her head a little bit to the side, takes a couple steps and says, "And can I help you?"
I'm not sure. What are you doing?
I was trying to get a better look at the clouds, but clouds are not exactly, not exactly reliable when it comes to reading. Wind is a fickle thing.
You're a weather expert?
Oh, goodness, no. I am a divination expert, but the clouds did catch my eye. They just seem to be something awfully, I wouldn't even say different. It's just that something seems a bit out of place. But it's not something I am terribly familiar with, though. I couldn't help but notice that you were gazing upon my beauty as I descended back down.
Whatever you say.
She extends a hand. You may call me Genevieve.
Kind of looks at it. You would do good not to take my hand. For your sake, I will not accept it.
Well, you could at least give me your name.
Bon.
Bon. Pleasure.
Divination, yes?
Yes. I am a member of the Collegium Divinatorum.
Yes, whatever. You find someone.
I guess it depends on a lot of things, but I can certainly try.
Not very sure of yourself,
Finding people is a bit trickier than reading fortunes. However, there is some magic I have access to that may or may not be of help. And besides, is it not better to have 2 minds on it rather than 1?
How much?
Oh, are you looking for just consultation? Are you looking for I'm tagging along with you? It depends on, are we looking at a contract or am I just helping out?
I just need to know as much information about their current whereabouts. I don't need your help in any other form.
3 Tron.
1 Tron.
1 Tron, 2 a hit?
1.5, we'll call it there.
Genevieve makes a very confused face as she thinks about how to split in a hid.
Do math. You don't know how to do math?
No, I do. Are you going to cut a coin in half?
We'll figure it out. It's not important. We're just doing the whole Pontus Gefyra haggling bullshit. How much do you actually want?
Yeah.
1 Tron.
Alright, 1
1
Tron,
and a half
done.
a hid.
It's easy.
No. 1.5 a hid.
Muses.
And she has a very mischievous smile on her face.
I need 1 person found. 2 Tron, yes, over.
2 Tron and half in a hit.
How do you split in a hit? That's the lowest denomination.
It's a copper. You can't do that.
What?
I need you to chop this coin in half for me.
You vex me, woman.
You're the one who first suggested a half, and now I'm fascinated.
I get in a hit and squeeze it as hard as I can. I try to split it in half just with my fingers to intimidate.
I think you just do it.
Sweet. You see one of my arms reach into a small pocket and lift the head and just squeeze as hard as I can. And you see it just start to fold into itself like a banana and snap. And I hand you half of the head.
Eyebrows raised, I take the half a hid. And the 2 Tron.
Other hand reaches into pocket, hands you the 2 Tron.
Superb. What do we have to work with?
Ravana Langsi Ixal Kamartor.
Superb, that's a name. What else do we have to work with?
Green skin, orange diamonds.
It's a bit more helpful. Anything else?
Noble, important. Will be in place of high office or great power.
Oh, well then lucky for you, you found me. I am also a noble.
I seriously doubt that.
Have you not heard of the Laverne family of the Sycnosian cantons?
I'm not even going to roll, DM. I'm just going to pretend that I don't know, even if I do. No.
Holy shit, savage.
Brutal.
I can't believe that you would insult me so.
I pay you to help me find this, not talk. Now help me find.
Oh, I like you a lot. All right, come along.
Feeling is not neutral. Let's go.
And I think Genevieve is going to start making her way towards one of the noble houses, or I guess the district of the city where there is money.
Yeah, that's gonna take you through this.
Wait! We make one stop first. I need kombucha.
Kombucha? Oh, if you're buying.
Yes, I will buy you kombucha.
Where in the city would you like to stop for kombucha?
Old Kalamkar. There was a stand, and my father took me to it when I was a boy.
Yeah, so you kind of like walk back through like Founders Square and then Founders Bridge, and then into Little Kalamkar.
Oh yeah, Little Kalamkar, sorry.
And there's
minus 1 point on the pop quiz. Oh man.
yeah, Little Kalamkar's been around Bridge.
Yeah,
fuck.
that's $1 in the bridge jar. I didn't do it. I didn't do it first. Yes.
Keep this in. Keep this in. The Bridge.
I had the faith. Diego. I knew you could do it.
God damn it. Of course it's me. There is a spot there. The question is, I'm gonna.
May I say something? May I offer something?
Yeah.
No matter how long he looks, the stall is no longer there.
Yeah, I think that's fair. It's been, what, like 15 years at this point?
roughly.
Yeah, not there. And I think you spent a little bit too long looking for it.
Yeah, and Genevieve sees that this man is dead set on finding the kombucha from this specific stall. He will not settle for any other stall.
Oh, you're paying her. She's fascinated by you.
Spices, nutmeg, no. Orange, no. Wrong. There was a stall here before. There was calamari, green skin, orange, not diamonds, fuck. Heads in the different place. Fuck you, never mind. Different place.
Yeah, and I think in frustration, you just sort of start walking in the direction that Genevieve was trying to take you in the first place. Yeah, like, you're clearly not going to find it. Nothing here is really going to hold up.
Yeah. Lost it all.
Yeah, so you find yourself walking through the second ward of Pontus Gefyra when the rain starts to break out. And then it starts to pour. Lightning starts to strike, the wind starts to pick up. Yeah, this is why Pontus Gefyra is known for this style of architecture. It's because the wind here, the storms are ferocious. Yeah, as you're walking by kind of like an older house, the wind starts to pick up and it's almost starting to throw you to. Older woman just leans out of a door, grabs both of you and says, "Get in, idiots!" and pulls you in.
I like to imagine that when Genevieve was pulled in, a few of her feathers were left in her place and just flutter off with the wind.
Yeah, your feathers and like the dirt that was caked on my cloak are left behind as the lady pulls us in.
All right, well, there's kombucha upstairs, and we have cradlehead mushroom stew. I don't know what you were doing outside is generally a bad idea. That's gonna be going on for... I wish I had the forecast, actually. We'll hear the bell rings. Then we'll know how many days that's gonna be going on for.
Days?
Yes, one of the storms in this blasted town.
Yeah, anyways, I'm Alkanoi, Kemal Mahler Alkan Alkanoi, and welcome to my home. Actually, I run a boarding house, so you're not imposing at all. Please, come in. And then she's like, oh yes, and your names, please. I'd like to know who's staying at my house.
Bond gets himself up, kind of pats himself down, makes himself nice and clean for an honored elder.
Hanuman Seru and Merkar Bantaur.
Hanuman. I had a Hanuman stay here maybe 20 years back with one of his kids.
I suppose you'll have another who will stay here then. Until the storm ends.
Oh, that's very nice. Yes, why don't you go get yourself dried off and go upstairs.
How much? Wait. Never mind. We'll finish the introduction and do the ego bullshit after.
Just go upstairs. I'm cooking.
Very well.
Interesting one he is. And Genevieve does a little curtsy. Mademoiselle Genevieve Laverne, but you may simply call me Genevieve.
Oh, thank goodness. I wasn't going to say that whole thing anyways. Go upstairs.
And yeah, Genevieve heads upstairs.
I'm waiting at the top of the stairs for you. Do not forget, your job is not over.
I'm aware. We'll ride out the storm here. Once the weather's better, we'll head on out, continue looking for this person of interest.
Glad we are in the court.
And for the first time, our party is together in the middle of a living room in a cramped boarding house in the second ward of Pontus Gefyra. I think the three of you who are already here are just sitting down and enjoying your kombucha. And if I had to guess, probably drinking a lot.
Yeah.
There's an old man now in the room, Hyperides, Alkanoe's husband, just sitting. And Melite is still sitting down with the book. Melite, the too cool for school goth. She lowers the book, looks at Bon, looks at Genevieve. Hi. And puts the book back up. Leon, the little kid, walks out of the kitchen, looks at Genevieve, looks at Bon, looks back at Genevieve, and goes up to her. I like your feathers! And then looks at Bon. Have you ever killed anyone?
Does he ask that a lot?
I get down to the kids' level. Would you like me to answer that truthfully?
Yeah!
No!
Then yes.
Cool!
Kid asks for honesty, I'll give honesty.
That's so cool.
No, it's not cool.
Oh, it's not cool?
Do not think it is
Why
cool.
isn't it cool? I'm gonna go to the kitchen. Bye! And then walks into the kitchen.
I was going to explain, but okay.
I don't know. Sounds pretty cool to me.
An honest murderer. That's a new one.
No use in hiding it.
I respect it.
And you are?
Hippodamo.
I take it you and the Signosian here are new to town.
or you would have known to get into the first open doorway as soon as the rain started coming down.
My first time in the city. In a long time.
My first time in this city, period. I've never been here before. It's fascinating.
Well, welcome. I did predict a storm, didn't I?
You did, Arlo.
There, see? Never wrong.
No, it's actually kind of frightening.
I'm telling you, it's a little feeling in the back of my head.
Are you also divination?
No. I mean, I suppose I've never tried. No, I'm just, weird, I think is the right way to put it.
Beginning to think I paid the wrong person.
Oh, I'm hurt.
You had hunch, they had confirmation.
Look, I'm alright at storms, but that's... everything else is sort of... I mean, maybe.
Well, the pleasure is mine meeting you. I'm Genevieve.
Arlo Rainborn.
Anyway, word of caution to you newcomers, if it starts raining like that ever, dash into the nearest doorway. Doesn't matter whose. If you get stuck too long out in something like that, they send someone like me to recover your body.
Oh, fun.
You, Alien.
Me,
Yes.
Phee. My name is Phee. It's a pleasure.
Phee, we need to get you some more kombucha. You're far too reticent to speak. And we're going to be stuck in here for several days together, with nothing to do but talk.
I will go to my room.
And Bon will try to escape as soon as they mention talking together in a room.
Alkanelli walks up to the stairs. No, I'm gonna get us some mulled wine, and you're gonna sit down, and we're gonna have ourselves a chat. That's right, we're gonna have a nice little chat, because we're probably stuck here for several days, and I will not have you be a grump.
Phee looks in your eyes, Bon, and you see a recognition of a similar, like, get me the fuck out of this room. I don't want to be here right now.
And in that moment, true introverts shook hands, but they would never actually shake hands.
No, they would.
Exactly.
They would just nod.
The most imperceptible nod at each other. You understand me.
Lady Alkanoe, you mentioned mulled wine.
Mulled wine, kombucha, even the good stuff. You know, the kombucha we don't give the children.
Lady Alkanoe would like some mulled wine.
Yeah, there you go. And then she brings out a bunch of hot mulled wine mugs for all of you in Hipparides.
He takes 2, because he has 4 arms.
She is so happy to see that. She's like, thank goodness.
Phee very tentatively takes one.
I sit next to Phee.
I'm going to drink myself to sleep. No talking sleep.
Phee takes her malt wine and, as imperceptibly as possible to everyone but Bon, slides it towards Bon.
His third hand takes a third cup.
Bon, did you drink some of her kombucha, by the way?
No, he doesn't want to taste any kombucha. He's still too hurt after not finding what he wanted.
He looks, the kombucha smells familiar.
Wait. Good thought.
May I have I walk over to the fermenting jar, right? Or whatever vessel they currently have it in.
Yeah.
May I have a sip? Smoke up. I want to taste.
She hands you, like, a shot glass.
That will do.
I sip it.
It's like being back in the city with your dad. It tastes exactly how you remember the best kombucha in the city tasted.
He just kind of licks his lips for a moment. Did you have a stall years ago?
A friend did.
Is there a recipe?
Yeah, same jar.
Where is this friend?
Oh, they died.
Perhaps whoever they're with is drinking well.
I'd hope so. But don't forget the mulled wine. The mulled wine's even better.
I will not, Lady Alden.
And he'll kind of like toast to an invisible toast of the kombucha to no one.
Yeah, the mulled wine, if the kombucha is like childhood, the mulled wine is the best thing you've had in 10 years.
What is this place? He kind of looks around warily.
Oh, it's just a boarding house.
kind of looks at her kind of warily, untrustworthy, right?
Thank you. Yes.
You see, friend? Being trapped inside is not so bad when it's in Alcanoe's house.
Wouldn't want to weather a storm anywhere else.
You can say that again.
Sooner this is over, the better.
The camera zooms out from the warm interior of Alcanoe's boarding house to the stormy night sky above Pontus Gefyra. The wind shrieks with an unbridled fury as it throws the rain against the buildings of the city like a cloud of shrapnel. The camera swoops down to a central canal and then far out into the rough sea of the Bay of Bridges, focusing on a group of vessels as they attempt to thrust through the storm to the safety of the port. The salty crews of these vessels have enough skill to make it to port. After all, they were seasoned in storms like this. However, this is not a normal storm. The water around these vessels swells up as a massive midnight serpent ascends from the depths, swallowing one such unfortunate ship as it breaches through the rough ocean. The storm is no match for this serpent's ferocity and power, as it unleashes a deathly roar that no one on this plane has heard before or since. The rough waves of the storm instantly crystallize into dark stone, a cascade effect that extends for 10 miles around the serpent in a perfect circle. The serpent itself snaps, for it too is petrified. The white noise of rain ceases as every last particle of water in this radius is turned to dust. An incursion has come to Pontus Gefyra.
You've been listening to Fictioneers Presents Weave. This episode, Pontus Gefyra, featured performances by Diego Camanguian as Bon, Julia Pisello Duga as Hippodamo, Mark Schuling as Arlo, TJ Martin as Phee, Zelda Migneron as Genevieve, and Clark Nichols as our loving and benevolent chef. This episode was produced by Zelda Migneron. It was edited, sound designed, and scored by TJ Martin. It featured performances on guitar by Clark Nichols. A special thank you to Harrison Rosenberg for consulting on world building and religion. Weave features art by Mark Schuling. The YouTube version was edited by Julia Pisello Duga and Zelda Migneron, with art by Mark Schuling and Julia Pisello Duga. If you enjoyed this episode, leave us a like or a comment and subscribe to get notified when future episodes release. Share us online and rate us on iTunes or Spotify. Follow us on Tumblr, Blue Sky, and TikTok at Fictioneers Podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next time on Weave.
We here at Fictioneers would like to give a special thank you to our Weave beta listeners, including Bambi Costa, Ben Newman, Claire Don Breaking, Cypher WA, Fig, Harrison C. Rosenberg, James King of All Goats Provo, Lev Rosenberger, Pick, Trick, Rosie Rogers, Sister Catherine the Reluctant, Tanuki, and Thad Knupp.